Greetings, GRPS staff from the Instructional Technology Department. Welcome to Distance Learning for Teachers New to Google Classroom, Module 1. A couple housekeeping tips before we get going into the actual module. We're going to talk about creating classrooms here momentarily, but prior to working with Google at all for any district work, you want to make sure that you are signed into your Google Chrome browser. First of all, using Google Chrome. Second of all, signed into the Google Chrome browser up here in the upper right-hand corner with your @students.grps.org email account. And you also want to be signed in at www.google.com right here with your @students.grps.org email account. This makes sure that anything that you do, post, create, send, share, email is FERPA compliant and protected under the federal law and guidelines for education institutions through our Google for EDU site license. Once you are signed in and you would like to navigate to Google Classroom to create your first class, there's a couple different things you can do. You can do it the old-fashioned way. You can come on up here to the navigation bar and type in classroom.google.com. You can also come over here to the Google Waffle. And when you click the Google Waffle, you can scroll down to the classroom icon and click that. That's what I've done here. When you load into Google Classroom, if this is the first time that you've been in, you may not see any classes. You see, I have a couple classes here that I am either a part of, have been offered to be a part of, or have created myself. This first one, Sample Online Learning, is a class that was created that I was added to as a co-teacher, and I'm getting offered to accept ownership of this class, so I will just click accept there. Mr. Morris's class I added earlier today. He gave me his class code, and so I logged in actually as a student in his class, and then this is a class that I created earlier. You may have no classes on this screen, or you may have several from this year or previous years. As we move forward into creating classrooms, we want to make sure that we're paying attention, because of the shutdown, to some common course naming recommendations that the Instructional Technology Department and the district as a whole are requesting. The reason for that is twofold. First of all, Google Classroom does not forget your classes. You archive them when you're done with them, but you have access to them for years and years. I've used Google Classroom for 5 years in my classroom, and I still have access to all of my classes that I had. With that said, when I go back and I look for old assignments, I want to be able to determine what class they were made for: 6th grade, an 8th grade, a chemistry, a social studies. So it's easier to sort through. And so common naming conventions as you name your classrooms moving forward are going to benefit you in the long run. In the short term, they're going to benefit you and your building administrator, as your building administrator is trying to support you and is supporting you through the online learning process, using our naming conventions that include teacher last name, hyphen class hour, grade level, subject, and spring 2020 will help your administrator be able to easily find your class, your hour, and a particular student during the spring 2020 class shutdown. With that said, the way to create a class, if you do not have any already, is with the plus button up here in the upper right-hand corner. If you hit the plus button, you'll have the option to create a class, and we'll go ahead and click that right now. And again, class name, we want to start off with our teacher last name. So your last name here. Whoops, don't do that. Or, and then the section. Should need for room number, as we're not meeting in live rooms. When you hit create, your class will be created. And you'll see that when it adds to your screen, first of all, it launches. Second, when you go back to classes, you'll see it's added to your screen. You can see it's the hour, so it's easily discernible for you as a teacher. If you don't like the order, you can move these around. That's fine too. Maybe you want first hour right before second hour, and so on and so forth, to organize your screen. Your task for this module, if you have not created any Google Classrooms, go ahead and create one. Be sure to use those naming conventions that we just discussed. And with your new or current Google Classroom, format the course name and section fields with the suggested format, so it's easy for everyone to find. We'll talk to you next module.